All right, Tim Legler here now, and Giannis goes for 20 in this game, the least points he scored in the series. But, Tim, that does not mean that he was not dominant in other aspects. What did you see from him tonight?
Yeah, this guy is such a unique force in the game. We really haven't seen anything like it, a guy with this kind of speed, handle, length, and then strength to finish. Dominated the series. Kyrie said it. This is a better team. Brad Stevens said it. They are a better team, and I'm going to show you a couple examples why, and Giannis is a big part of that. Great defensive effort here initially, but then take a look at this. So you got Jason Tatum, pretty elite athlete. He's going to go ahead and try to get this ball, but Giannis just kind of goes to a different floor. And look at those hands. He's in a group of 4 people, but look at those 2 hands on the basketball. So he's going to come down amongst this crowd, but now's where it gets really impressive. So take a look. When he lands, there's his first step. Look at his back foot, and I want you to concentrate on this also because there are 4 guys basically right on his back. And here's why I want you to watch that back foot. He's going to take that thing, and that first stride is going to be right here. And the first time this ball hits the floor is at the top of the key. So he has taken the ball from directly under the rim, and he is beyond the top of the key in 1 bounce. He's almost at half court in 2. And then, remember all those guys that were in the crowd? Look where they are now. This is a one-man fast break because of that stride and that length up the floor. And then here's what else he does to you, Mike, in the open floor. You now have a guy that Kyrie Irving, with 2 guys back, normally he just go ahead and stay on this outside lane with this shooter. Look at the way he is starting to now pinch into the middle because if you don't, he's going to be at the rim. And then Giannis looks up. He's got these 2 guys in backpedal mode. So he gets to about right here. He's done his job. He's taken all 3 guys on himself, and this is where that passing comes in. Brad Stevens was talking about. He's going to drift over in this area, and he knows his man right here, Chris Middleton, is going to run to this spot, and he's going to just do a little flip and then screen at the same time. All of this created by the unique nature of Giannis Antetokounmpo's athletic ability and then his ability to see the floor. And then this one just defies logic. I don't know there's another player in the league that's going to make this play. Get him over to the sideline. It's exactly where you want him. 2 guys on him. Gordon Hayward is 6'8". He is pinned on the sideline. Giannis reading the defense. You know you're not coming off the strong side corner. Now, most guys in this situation are going to have 2 options. The first is going to be maybe you hit George Hill cutting to the middle of the floor, or you jump and you reverse the ball up here to Malcolm Brogdon. Well, with Giannis Antetokounmpo, when he sees 2 guys on the weak side completely focused on him, there's actually, believe it or not, on this particular play, because it's Giannis, a 3rd option, believe it or not. Take a look at this pass. Pat Connaughton runs baseline. Giannis wraps his hand around Gordon Hayward and whips this thing to the baseline. Only guy in the league that's reaching around Gordon Hayward and putting that much on it. Perfect delivery. 8 assists on the night. A lot of praise for his all-around game. Let's give praise also to this team. I've been saying it for probably 2 or 3 months. It's just felt like their year. Great role definition, a superstar that's a great teammate that these guys want to follow, and more than enough talent with guys like Chris Middleton and Bledsoe and Mirotic, guys that can put the ball in the basket as well.
You said role definition, and that's something Boston has struggled with over the last couple of years, but you have a marquee leader in Kyrie Irving. 4th straight disappointing performance in this game. The series is now over. He's been here for a couple of years now. Tim, what do you make of what Kyrie has done so far in Boston?
2 words to me come to mind: miscalculation and misfortune. The miscalculation was on Kyrie Irving's part because I don't think he understood how difficult it is to be the top guy and to lead a group of young players. And that just seemed to be something that he had a very difficult time with. I also think there was misfortune, and the misfortune came at the end of last year when you had Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Terry Rozier really playing well prior to Kyrie's injury, but understanding the pecking order on that team. Kyrie goes out. Gordon Hayward obviously was out for the whole year. Well, the misfortune is when Kyrie Irving then comes back this year, you had 3 guys that grew before our very eyes. Now you're going to ask 3 very young players who think this is going to be a constant progression and ascension for them to take a step back, and we're going to be better off for it. It's a really difficult sell, and as a result, I just think they never really hit their stride this year with everybody being comfortable with how they were playing, what they were doing, what their role was, and it was a really tough thing for Brad Stevens to overcome, and ultimately, he was not able to overcome it, and I think now you may have seen Kyrie Irving play his last game in Boston.
It seems to be the sentiment, even though Kyrie didn't really want to address it following this loss. Tim, appreciate it. Kyrie Irving speaking to the media.
You know, they showed all year why they were who they were, and you know, they were very dominating in this series after Game 1. You know, they played hard. They did unbelievable things with their rotations, and you know, Mike put them in some great positions to be successful, as well as guys coming in off the bench playing well, playing steady. You know, you got Ersan and George, and you know, they're just leading that second unit. And I think Giannis and Chris did a great job of leading their group, as well as Iblet coming in and filling in where he could as well. I think collectively as a group, they really outplayed us as a group. And I give credit to them because they came after game one getting punched in the mouth, and they responded the way a team that, you know, deserves to win should.
Kyrie, Gary Washer, Boston Globe. 2 questions. One, how disappointing is this? You know, you guys were picked to go to the finals, or you wanted to do great things with this team and this organization, and how disappointed are you? And 2, what will you do for the next 6-7 weeks before you have a big decision to make? And is Boston a place that you would consider coming back?
I mean, you know, truth be told, it's no time to be disappointed. I think that, you know, you take your lessons, you take your ass whooping that they handed us, and you move on. You know, it's a basketball journey. Obviously, you know, you want to keep playing, but they put a halt to that, and they deserve this series. They played like they wanted it, and you know, I'm looking forward to seeing them going to the Eastern Conference Finals and playing their next opponent. You know, it was a great opponent for me to play against for the rest of my career, because I know I won't forget something like this. And you know, the taste of feeling defeat in the, you know, in this type of style, you know, being down 1-4. You know, I haven't felt. So, you know, for me, it's just moving on to the next thing, and just seeing where that ends up.
Adam Himmelsbach with the Boston Globe. When you kind of look forward to this summer, just in general, what kind of things are you looking for, I guess, in your life, and what kind of things, situations would be a positive situation that you want to be in when you? I'm
gonna be honest with you. I'm just trying to make it back to Boston first, you know, safely. Get to see my family, decompress, you know, do what human beings do.
Kyrie, Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports. So much gets made of Milwaukee's offensive abilities, but what was their defense like that kind of got different from the regular season to game one to over the last few games?
Well, they kept a body on me practically the whole game. You know, and then they put us in some rotations offensively and defensively. Did a great job of running their offense with pace, making us think out there. And I think that's where one of the important lessons I'm going to take from this is just how smart, you know, our team has to be in order to be at that next level. And they did it all year. I mean, they stayed consistent. They stayed steady. They stayed relatively healthy. You know, and like I said, I give credit when credit is due. Giannis is an unbelievable player. He's been doing unbelievable things this year, as well as Chris. And they fill in very well. They're a great, well-run team. So, you know, I'm glad that we got to feel this in the eyes of looking at a great team like that.
Kyrie, Michelle Steele, ESPN, you mentioned at the top that you took some lessons away from this playoff series. What were they? What's a lesson that sticks out to you from this series?
Just the patience out there on the floor, just the pace, and being very communicative. You know, those are the main things.
And can I have a follow-up really quickly? You know, plenty of people here are speculating about your future, and certainly this summer. Did uncertainty over that weigh on you in any way in this series?
No.
Series, but that would be the most glaring because it is Kyrie Irving. I'm Michael Eaves. That is John Buccigross. You're still watching SportsCenter. We're past the top of the hour here on ESPN. And Bucci, the season is over for Boston, but we got to give some credit to the Bucks because they are moving on and they earn to be where they are right now.
Tim Legler is going to join us and break that down and talk about Kyrie Irving's future, if the Celtics would even want him back and what kind of fit he could be. But yeah, as Michael mentioned, this was the best team in the NBA during the regular season. That guy certainly was one of the two best players, either James Harden or Giannis. I'm in the Giannis camp for MVP, but certainly both men are deserved. And early on, the Bucks got off to a good start, and we mentioned Kyrie Irving shooting. It was no better tonight. 6 of 21. 1 of 7 from 3. That one an air ball. 15 points, 1 assist. By halftime, he still hadn't gotten that assist. Meanwhile, Giannis moving the ball around. Coach Stevens on the Greek Freak.
What's made him so good this whole year, and it's continued in this series, is his passing. If all he did was lower his head and drive to the rim, you'd be able to sink in, help, take charges. It wouldn't feel good in the morning, but you do it. But his passing is just really good.
Obviously, a man of high character and loads of unselfishness, Giannis. He only took 14 shots in this game. Hits Ilyasova there. Ilyasova 4 of 6 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. George Hill, man, he was great off the bench. 3 of 6 shooting 3. Giannis had 8 assists in this game. That's a dime. Beautiful pass to Connaughton. Assisted on 17 points in the first half, while the entire Celtics starting 5 combined to assist on 9. Of course, he's got those long arms. Can't buy shirts at the mall, but he can steal basketballs. 8 of 14 from the field. 20 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. Only played 31 minutes. Otherwise, it would have been a dominating triple-double if the game was close. Here he comes again. This game is over after 3 quarters. It was over before that, but the lead is up to 18 at the end of 3. To the final frame. And again, this thing is over. Give and go. I mean, Bledsoe took as many shots as Giannis, 14. Middleton took more shots than Giannis, 15. Boom. They only shot 32% from 3, but the Celtics were so dreadful. And there's, look at George Hill. Look at these bench points. 26, 36, 42, 49 points off the bench. The Bucks win in 5. The best team in the NBA is still that in the postseason.
Chris, first Milwaukee Bucks team to get to the Eastern Conference Finals in 18 years. What does this moment mean to you?
It's a great moment for the players, but it's a better moment for the city. I mean, it's been a long time, long overdue. The Brewers have been doing great, Packers been doing great. So now we're right there in the conversation with them. So it's great for the city.
Can I ask you, what did the Bucks do defensively to limit a player like Kyrie Irving so effectively in this series?
He's a hell of a player, and he can kill you with these tough shots. So we just try to send multiple guys at him, make them shoot tough shots, make tough shots, just make it hard in the passing lanes for him. So, I mean, he's a hard guy to guard one-on-one. So we try to use our whole team.
Did you expect more of an effort tonight, though, from the Celtics?
I mean, I thought they gave it their all. I mean, this whole series. I think as a team, we're just trying to wear them down with our depth. Trying to play as hard as we can for 48 minutes with pace. I think, they play hard, but I like to think we wore them down over time.
And finally, Chris, how much does this rest mean to you? The fact that you were able to wrap it up in 5, how much is the rest going to mean to this team?
It's great, but I mean, we got to stay in shape. Having the first round that came out game 1 of this series and got embarrassed because we just weren't ready for the moment. So got to get our rest, but at the same time, we got to stay ready, stay in shape.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Rest, Michelle. They're 8-1. They're fine. Bucks with their 5th 20-point victory of the postseason. The most through a team's first 9 games in NBA playoff history. 5 of their 9 games have been 20-point wins. The only other team with 4 such are the 2016 Spurs, 70.